boy Prophet Pete, and we here with the second half of Prophet Radio with all the dope special guests with nothing but hip hop, nothing but real music, nothing but real talented individuals spreading the word on money, life, love, and music. Cause that's how we do it here, y'all. And I got this joint that I want y'all to hear, man. I just think we really need to get into it one more again. Yeah, summertime is over, but you know what? Let the music take you for a ride.
Late night, I was looking for a vibe and you told me had a great time. You was creeping up behind, so I bubbled up my waistline, yeah. It just started with a wine, I get sitting on my FaceTime. Not in a rush, let we take time. But you know I got somebody that I talk to. Every time you wouldn't answer, I will call you. They say creeping is a sin, but we all do. You probably doing the same thing when I'm on you. You was only supposed to take my number. I grab my under, roll my waist around like it's thunder. And now you're looking for my loving like a hunter. Baby, I will give you what you want if I promise to be my little secret.
Yeah.
I don't wanna hide, but you gotta be my little secret.
Be my secret.
I'm loving all your vibes and you're putting it on me, on me, on me. I know that you want me, want me, want me. You're putting it on me, on me, on me. I know that you want me, want me, want me. Yeah, be my little secret. Never have to worry if I'm creeping. I can say I love you for the weekend, but don't go post our pictures as you tweaking. Cause I got my baby, I still love too. I know it drives me crazy, think I love you. I'm wishing all these feelings could I undo. Cause I'm stuck between the middle and I'm confused. Yeah, me and that boy, I'm sugar. Pretty so me good ass. Like intimacy, everything I get took off. Never had a trini in your life, now you hook up. Drive me.
You are tuned into Prophet Radio with your host, Prophet Pete.
Hey. What's going on?
Hey.
You can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How you doing over there today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing awesome. I just do what I love all the time. So, that's the best life to live, I guess.
Yeah, not even, I guess, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the living my best life. That particular term itself, because if I was living my best life, that means that I'm not trying to do nothing else. So, doing what I love and gradually getting to that next level every time, that's the way I like to live my life.
Yes.
Yes. So introduce yourself for the people.
Hello, my name is Simone. I am a recording artist and songwriter here in New York, Brooklyn. I'm based in now. I just moved here like 2 weeks ago or a month ago. So I'm new to Brooklyn, but I'm New York.
So Brooklyn, just being, how does it feel? How does it feel being where you are right now?
It feels great. Brooklyn is like, I was on Long Island, so it was a little bit less open-minded of a place. And so Brooklyn definitely feels like home to me already, even though it's only been like 1 month. But I love it. There's creatives all around. There's literally creatives all around, and there's inspiration everywhere. And it's literally just helping me thrive. I quit my jobs. I'm doing music full-time like doing what you can do to get yourself to where you want to go.
Yeah, and I think it's crazy when we think about it, right? The way society is, what we were taught growing up, no matter where you're from, especially being from, as they refer to us as minorities, we were always taught to do certain things. It was go to school, get a good job, go to school, finish school, get a good job kind of thing. And
yeah,
it kind of takes away from, what makes us move every day, the things that we want to do, right? There's that American dream thing, but that was something that was told to us. That's the checklist we're supposed to follow. And just saying, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take that step, that leap of faith, and I'm gonna you quit your job, and you said, I'm quitting my job, and this is what I'm doing because this is what I know I should be doing. This is what it is. And I don't care what everybody else thinks. This is me, and I'm gonna make it happen.
exactly.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I totally agree with you on like I don't even want to say leap of faith because I feel like it's if you're gonna do something with purpose, then it's probably destined. But I think when like society, like you said, gets in the way for like 18 years or 22 years if you're in school, you know, in college or higher education or grad school even, and then you're like, wait, I kind of want to do what I want to do for a second, but I have no knowledge of how to do that because everything was just perpetrated for what society wants, which like you said was go to school, get a job.
Yeah, it's like what you mean. Just, and then when you look at it, like I was in a field, and one day I was reporting to work, and it was working for a city agency, and I'm walking and I'm watching the guys that were there 15, 20 years, and I watched them walk with their head down, shoulders slumped forward, and they're just like dragging their feet every morning. And I'm like, this is what you're doing for the rest of your life, and you're not even happy. Yeah, they throw a little bit of money in your face, and you're like, oh, you can live okay, but you're not doing what you was passionate about. So now what you're doing is an actual job, you know. I see that microphone in the background, by the way.
Yeah, my little mic set up, my mic, my keyboard, my guitar, my ukulele.
Oh, so you got it going on over there.
Yes,
You be putting in that work, huh?
I do every day. I try to do something.
So what was some of the things that got you inspired to actually get into music in the first place?
In the first place was definitely Alicia Keys. I wanted to be the next Alicia Keys or Simone Keys in my example. And so I started taking piano lessons. I was also really jealous because my sister was taking guitar lessons. She's like older than me. So she started taking guitar lessons. I was like, I want to do music. I want to learn something. So I started piano lessons when I was like 7. And then I actually didn't take music like seriously until high school. I did like a talent show and it ended up winning. And I was like, wow, I guess I'm like not shitty at everything. I can like actually make music or sing. And then since high school, I kind of took it on upon myself to get myself where I wanted to, which sadly within music, you know, there is no designated lineup of things to do in order to get you whatever success that you want. You kind of have to make shift it together. So I did go to college. I did go to school for audio engineering. So I know how to engineer. And then I started songwriting. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to be an artist. I'm going to put myself out there in the front and I'm not going to be scared about it. And that's what I'm doing now. And I'm honestly fearless in that way now because I'm like, there's no backup plan and there doesn't need to be a backup plan because this is what I'm doing and this is what I've been doing.
Well, you got all the stuff that you need, kind of, right? You got the education to help you pursue and do the things that you need, and then you're passionate about making your music. So I think you kind of set yourself up to just tackle what you love in a nutshell.
Yeah, thank you. I hope so. I mean, yeah, I don't even want to say hope so. Got to speak everything into fruition, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's super important. Sometimes, especially when we're trying to pursue something that we love, we turn to people for their seal of approval or whatever it is.
Yeah,
But then we're asking the wrong people because these are people that are not even pursuing their dreams. So they're gonna shoot you down as much as they can. And no, you can't really do that. And they're gonna put so much doubt into what you're doing that sometimes you begin to doubt yourself, which is wild, you know?
you're speaking facts. You're speaking straight facts. Definitely have experienced that too. And I think the one thing that kind of gets me out of that, because people will still do that, right? Regardless of what you're doing, it doesn't matter. But what gets me out of like even caring about what they say is like you said, like they aren't doing anything and I'm doing something. And regardless if I'm winning or not, at least I'm doing something, which is the point, in my opinion, to do what I want to do. Whatever comes after that is a bonus.
Right? There's so many people that talk about happiness, right? But the only way you're gonna get there is to be in the pursuit of it, right? Be in
Yeah.
pursuit of your happiness. Do something to work towards it, right? And like I said, you to me, there's for me when it comes to doing something, I always refer to pulling the trigger, right? Because when you pull the trigger, after you pull the trigger, there's no you can't put the bullet back in the gun. It's
Oh,
already out, right? So
yeah.
You just kind of, oh, that's what I did. Now I just got to rock with it, make the best of it, do what I need to do. So
Yeah.
when it comes to making your music, and since you're doing something every day towards it to elevate your career, what is what is your action? I want to say, I don't want to say routine, but what is it that you
Mm.
every day to get you into that creative flow?
Yeah. Okay, great question because I've had to make adjustments recently. So, yeah, I think one thing that we all hear a lot and like kind of take for granted is waking up early. I know like no one ever wants to wake up early, but if you wake up early, let's say like 7 or 8 o'clock, you're just able to have way more time in your day and you don't feel like you're crunching it in. So I try to wake up at like 7:30. And then, but one of the things that I definitely try to do is each day I take 2 hours to specialize something. So it's either I'm singing for 2 hours, or I'm learning something on the piano for 2 hours, or I'm playing through some guitar stuff for 2 hours. Whatever it is, I want to take that time for the day and kind of just like sit in that and practice. And then on top of that, I try to like add something new. So whether that's like recording a new song or comping, chopping up a song to mix it and master it, or if that's taking photos for cover artwork or just for content, or if that's hitting up a videographer for next week when I want to do something. I just like set my intentions for like each day. I have like goals, monthly goals, right? Like whether it's music, content, the amount of followers, and what I'm going to need to do to get there. They're like mini goals. And then every day there's like at least 3 or 4 tasks, like main tasks that needs to get done. And then something like this at the end of the day, whether it's like an interview or a live stream or me just going on my own Instagram to interact with people to keep them up to date with what I'm doing. I think that's a huge thing. The more people see what you're doing and not just like, yeah, I'm working on this. This is gonna come out in a couple months. Da, 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 da. They're gonna be like, okay, like, what am I supposed to do now? So you're gonna have to give them like what you're doing. So I like tease little things. I'm always taking pictures, always taking videos of everywhere I go. You know, people feel like they're interacting. So those are the main things in my day. Really try to specialize in something and then create something. I'm also like an artist in many other ways. I run an online music magazine. So whether that's me sitting down and doing some research on someone who wants a feature and I'm sitting down writing an article for maybe the afternoon, or if I want to paint something for the afternoon, I picked up photography. So if I have like models that want to do some stuff, I just try to stay creative in whatever avenue that is, but with music being the main focus.
That, well, there's a lot of things you said in there, and you dropped some real jewels. Um, and I'm saying this because the first thing was waking up early, right? If you look
Mm,
at the the most successful individual, right, that you can
yeah,
probably pick out from a list of people that you might have followed or heard about or learned about, they wake up early. That waking up, 4, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning and getting stuff done, tackling certain things before you know the masses wake up,
yeah,
because you want the masses to wake up to whatever you're doing. So maybe
yeah,
they're waking up, and what everybody do, well, nowadays everybody gets on social media when they wake up. They don't brush their teeth, they get on social media, right? That's what they do first.
yep,
If you were up
yeah.
and already there, you're in their feed, right in their face, and they're like, oh wow. And now they're like, how did they do that? Now they're so intrigued because you're there already, and like, I'm just rolling out of bed, crust all in my eyes, type of thing. And and they're just so amazed by what you're doing. But then of course it gives you more time during the day when people are awake. You're able to move around. It eliminates a little stress. You're optimizing your time. Um, and that's just something that successful people do, right? And then
For
staying
sure.
staying creative is difficult. And you make sure that whatever you're doing adds to your creativity. Maybe making music, photography, writing, doing research for features in the online magazine. It's it's so many different things. And sometimes people get so caught up and this is the only thing I want to do because this is what I'm focused on, but they don't incorporate the things that can add to what they really want to do.
Yeah,
And you have that. You're adding those things to your situation to keep you moving in the right direction. you know?
I have to. I honestly feel like I have to because the days that I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna like chill. I'm not gonna like get my head on sideways. I'm just gonna relax today. You get into the habit of doing that. And then that becomes like doing anything more than that is hard now. So as long as you just keep yourself like moving around, you know, meet new people. I mean, that's a big thing too. And whatever you're trying to do, you should be meeting new people, networking, trying to get more people to get your service, whatever it is. So definitely get out, meet new people, see new things. Yeah, it's great. And I think being in Brooklyn definitely helps keeping that going any day. Like it never sleeps, obviously. So it's like there's always something to do or yeah, I'm definitely trying to get into my flow, but I feel like I've found it for now because things are working out pretty well, and I don't feel exhausted at the end of the day. You know, I'm not like, oh, music, like this is turning into a job. Like I don't know if I want to keep doing this. Like it's not like that. I'm like I keep it pretty interchangeable that it's like I'm not getting tired of anything. That's another thing too is like I made sure that I added new things and didn't just do okay music all day 9 to 5 is what I'm doing, focusing in front of the computer all day. Like I like writing, I like reading, I like drawing. Like these are things I can do too because these are all things I can incorporate into whatever brand I have. I could be drawing my next cover art. I could be writing up about an engineer that works at a studio that when he sees that, he's going to be like, oh, who is she that wrote this up about me? Oh, she makes really dope music. Let me see who this is. Everything, like, there's more to it than what it actually is in that moment. You know what I mean? So it's like constantly funnel in something because you're bound. If I'm doing 5 different things at a time, one of these things are bound to click in a month, in 3 months, in a year. You know what I'm saying? If that consistency, and that's another thing too, is consistency. But if that consistency is there, there's really there's no movie script ending. You know what I mean? Like it is what you make of it. So make of it what you want.
And you know what? Another gem. Another gem. You said the word consistency. You know, that I understand that the world is in the state that it's in right now.
Mhm.
But I think with the pandemic, there's so many artists or just business people or whatever that are using the pandemic as an excuse to not
Mm.
to not continue on the path that they set for themselves. And they're like, well, I can't perform, or I can't get outside and meet people, or I can't do this, or I can't. There's a lot of can'ts going on right now. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
find another way. You said you interact with people on social media. You make sure, you put something up to interact, and like there's a conversational thing going on, or you're showing them different things. So they see you still living. And then at some
Yeah.
they feel that they're living through you. So they watch you to say, wow, she's doing it. Now you become that motivational person for them, or that influencer to help them get through life. And
Yeah.
and it creates a, a community that says, hey, I'm a Simone. Like that's what they're gonna do. That's it. That's who I am, right? We got Beyonce with tag. I forgot what the hell they call her
Her
people.
beehive.
Beehives, right? You got the beehives, you got the barbs, you got right,
Get
you
the
got
vibes.
the Simones. It works out that way because you become this powerful influence, this positive
Mm.
influence for individuals because you are out there. I think that this pandemic, although there is a lot of tragedy going on, it has created a or leveled the playing field
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
now it doesn't matter how much money your business had or how much marketing or whatever you had behind you. There were things
Yeah.
that you were able to do that I wasn't able to do, but now we're all on the same playing field. We can't be in a
Hmm.
room congested with people. We can't interact. We can't generate money the way that we used to. Now we all have to find new ways to reach people all at the
Yeah.
same time. And not being able to do that once we come out of this pandemic is going to probably even put majors behind the minors, where the independents are going to be so far ahead because we have the flexibility to do certain things.
Wow. Yeah. Say less because that definitely is what it is. I mean, if it wasn't for the pandemic, I wouldn't have quit my jobs because you kind of need that pause to be like, wait, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing with my time? Like, where is my energy going? At the end of the day, how much every day do I even want to take time to work on myself or have time for myself? Or it's so hard when you have so many distractions going on, but when you literally tear everything away and you have nothing else to do but twiddle your thumbs in your room all day, you're going to come up with something to do. And this is another thing for the people who didn't and the people who aren't doing anything. That just means you weren't going to do anything because you have time, you have money, and there's nothing for you to do. Like, there's nothing to be done, there's nothing to work on, there's nothing to set up for when things go back to normal. I think that's very more telling to me, the people who are getting quiet and the people who are, just a little bit afraid of what this could tell in the future. But I have those same worries, but I'm not gonna not do it. I'm not gonna wait for whatever to happen. Like, I'm still here, I'm still going, even if I'm in one space. Technology is beyond what we even know it is. I do live stream concerts on my Instagram. I'll do giveaways. I'll do anything that I can do, like you said, to keep in touch with people, because those people aren't doing anything. Nobody's doing anything. So when you say, hey, what's up? I did this today. This is what I have going on. Do you want to check it out? You don't have anything else going on. So you have to keep consistent. And I definitely told myself, like, I want to say, like, what, March is when everything kind of went crazy
Mhm.
and lockdown started. I want to say by June, I was like, I'm moving to Brooklyn, I'm quitting my job, and I'm saving my money. Like, things that I could have and should have been able to do before, but because of minimum wage jobs and rent and responsibilities and adulting, it was hard to see that things that I wanted to do were still possible. And now I'm here in a place that I feel like I manifested and waved my wand, and I'm in a space that I feel so much more open to, like, let all those distractions like away in my head, that I'm able to just be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I didn't want to be a photographer before. I never thought I'd start a magazine,
Mm.
but these are things I enjoy doing now because I was like, you know what, I have time, and these are things that I kind of like. Let me see what this is about. Let me see what this is about. If it can do anything for me, cool. And it is. The main thing it's doing is giving me things to do and also keeping me happy, keeping me busy. But yeah, I feel bad for the people who aren't doing anything. I definitely encourage people to keep moving forward, even if it seems really hard. Like, try to do one little thing a day or a week, whatever it needs to be to keep you moving towards something. Because to sit around and wait for things to get better while you just don't do anything or add to it at all, um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't agree.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you 110%. And then you speak about Brooklyn and it being one of those decisions that were necessary. And for those that don't know too much about Brooklyn or knew or the stigma of what Brooklyn was in the past, it is no longer the same. And it being a place for creatives is what it manifested into. You have
Mhm.
the Dumbo area, you have Greenpoint, you have Williamsburg. There's places you can go where it's just artistry on the streets and just oozing out of a building because there's all these different studios and all these different workspaces and just what Brooklyn has turned into. There's some places
Yeah.
in Brooklyn you still don't want to go to at night, but
Yeah. Let
during
me
the
know because I might stumble into the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh yeah, well, like you definitely don't want to be in the hood, right? It's just, you know, Flatbush late at night. You stay away. You go through there in the daytime. You got Brownsville, you got East New York, but all those
Yeah.
places are actually changing. Those places are changing, and they're changing for the better because they're incorporating a lot of the stuff that they did in downtown Brooklyn and is spreading across Brooklyn. And
Yeah.
it's actually it's downtown Brooklyn spreading over to Queens, and then Queens is leaking into Brooklyn. So it's like just everything is going to be just a melting pot of creatives. And
Yes.
what I
Yeah.
didn't know is that there's so many studios and factories with up and coming businesses or designers and everything else. I've met so many different people in Brooklyn having studios in Brooklyn. And I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. I was amazed. And just being around that energy, it helps you keep going. It's wild.
Talk about it. Yeah. I was just saying this to my friend yesterday, who's a photographer, and I was like, the more that I surround myself with creatives of any kind, the more I want to create. It's literally monkey see, monkey do. And I'm actually like good at it. So I'm like, why not do that? But like having a day where I'm just home and maybe doing a lot of work at home doesn't give me that same rush that like being with someone else who also creates their own reality in whatever form gives you. Or sadly, going back to the pandemic, like the lack of shows definitely probably is the reason why a lot of people are like, I don't want to do anything, because you're not around that crowd energy, these other artists that you're just able to talk to people and meet new people. You're kind of like, oh well, no one's doing anything, so I guess I won't do anything. But when you see that people are doing things despite it, I mean, I was on my Instagram pretty early on, I want to say like April, May-ish, and I was surprised. I was before I made any kind of big decision, and I was surprised that people wanted to work, continuing to put things together and continue to move. I was like, let me do that too, because this doesn't feel great sitting around looking at the news every day and then just sitting here, at least ingest what's going on and then like express yourself through something. But that ended up being my way to do it. But yeah, I definitely.
Yeah. So as we well just before people forget, because we started talking about all this creative stuff and everything else, you are an artist that makes music, right? So
Yes.
right, you are an artist that makes music. So let's get into some of the music, because we can sit here and talk about keeping it going and trying to stay positive and just moving with life as it throws all its punches. um so let's talk about your music. How would you describe your sound?
Oh, I actually really hate that question, because I'm like, what is genre anymore? I tell people listen to it and figure it out. But for the sake of this situation, I would say that it's an alternative R&B pop style. I hate that what we are in right now is every person of color is like R&B or urban or hip hop or rap. So I emphasize alternative, because I do like to throw in singer songwriter elements, rock elements to my music, major pop elements into my music, soul that'll kind of round out that R&B sound and make it more unique. But my music specifically, I'm super big on harmonies, so you'll always hear like these grand choruses, these little sneaky harmonies in and out of the music. I'm pretty edgy, pretty bold with what I try to do musically too. So it's always just like you'll have your eyebrow up while you're listening, like, ooh, that caught me off guard, that caught me off guard. But mostly it's alternative R&B, to say the least.
Mm. All right. So, with that being said, right, we are on your Spotify right now. So I want to just randomly, like,
Ooh,
just the title of, you know, some of your tracks here, right? Like, join the club. Like, talk to me
that's
about
my favorite.
it. Is it?
It
Well, it is the
is. It
first one on
is.
the list too. So
Yeah.
how would you describe that particular track, or the motivation behind that particular production?
Yeah, so Join the Club, actually, it's a single, but it's also part of a project, an EP also titled Join the Club after that song. So that song specifically was actually one of the first songs that I really started moving forward with as an artist. I had written it years before, but was like, okay, I'm gonna actually do this one. That one is pretty dark. That gives you kind of like this Travis Scott kind of dark pop vibe. And basically in that song, I bring out my alter ego, which I go by Lord Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio, by the way. I bring out my alter ego Scorpio for the second verse, which is supposed to be really aggressive about like my darker side. And I went through depression a lot as a teenager, an angsty teenager, and luckily was able to get out of that. But a lot of that is still in me, like I'm still that person. So having that come out through Lord Scorpio is kind of cool in that song. It has a really heavy bass punchy 808 hook. It actually was one of everybody's favorite songs off of that project, and that's one of my favorite songs when I listen to my music like in my own shuffle. I don't do that very often, so I'm not conceited, but when I do that every now and then, I always am like, oh, join the club, this is my song, I love performing it. Yeah, no, that one's pretty dark. I love that one. goes
Oh,
hard. It goes really hard.
so what we're gonna do, I want you to reintroduce yourself and introduce this track before we play it for the people.
Yes. Okay. My name is Simone. This song is called Join the Club off of my EP, Join the Club, and it features Lord Scorpio.
Here we go, y'all. Oh, they killing me. Damn, Spotify. All right, hold on. No, we're almost there. We're almost there. We're
No
almost.
worries.
All right, here we go. Come on. Yeah.
It's a dark, dark tally. It's a dark, dark tally. It's a dark, dark world. It's a dark, dark light. I wanna fuck up your life. I wanna fuck up your life like they did mine. I wanna fuck up your life, and I don't even give a fuck about dying. Angels, they play with my head. That's why I sleep with the demons instead. But now I just try and forget all of the shit I've done with my legs spread. Open up, give you my heart. Hope I can feel it beating from the start. But sorry, it's nothing but ash. I haven't had the most pleasant of paths. I haven't had the most pleasant of paths. I haven't had the most pleasant. Are you down? Are you down? Are you down with us? Are you down? Are you down? Are you down to join the club? Oh, are you down to join the club? Oh, are you down to join us? It's a dark, dark tale. It's a dark, dark. I wanna fuck up your life. I wanna fuck up your life like they did mine. I wanna fuck up your life, and I don't even give a fuck. I am your Lord Scorpio, helping everyone. Count your blessings, young. Maybe you'll be fine. Ain't nobody really dies, ain't nobody really dies, and nobody really cares. Ain't nobody really dies, ain't nobody really dies, and nobody really lives. Are you down? Are you down? Are you down with us? Are you down? Are you down? Are you down to join the club? Are you down to join the club? Are you down to join us?
Ooh.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Anything you want to say before I talk?
No, I love that song. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
My thoughts. Oh, it was horrible. Like it really was. No,
Man, I guess I shouldn't do this anymore.
yeah, nah, just give up. I would say actually, no lie. Wow. That when I like to listen to music, the music that I would like to listen to. I gravitate towards rap and hip hop and stuff like that. But when I'm looking to listen to like unique sounds and I'm definitely an R&B guy.
Yeah.
And you know, so I really rock with R&B, the way the songs are put together and just the way Join the Club was put together. it to me, that particular track is like it's everything that I would look for in a hit, something that was great because I think this is my personal opinion or professional opinion, however you want to put it.
Hmm.
Um, that when people put music together, there should be a change in tempo. There should be those shocking points in the music, may it be within the beat or within the delivery of the lyrics or whatever it
Hmm.
is. So it's like, you had just singing points and then you sped up your vocals a little bit, then you had the 808s hitting. Then it was like it was just so much, but everything fit together so well that it was seamless from beginning to end. And then
Thank
it's
you.
like it's not one of those tracks that you like, oh yeah, we're gonna put you in this box, right? We're gonna put you
Mm.
in this box. That's what it is. No, that thing can float between 1,000 genres depending on who's listening to it or who's rocking with it. And the sound can easily transition overseas because it's
Mm.
similar to what the sounds that I would hear from artists that I interview in London to
Ah,
South Africa to places like that on the other side of the world. And it's like they would free you would probably have people trying to steal your stuff over there. But it's one of those things that is just it's like wow. It's refreshing because it's not what everybody else is putting out. It's not a carbon copy of what you would normally hear.
yeah, oh my God, I appreciate that so much. I mean, I can definitely, if I take myself out of the artist box and put myself in the songwriter box, because I do work with a lot of artists, R&B and outside of R&B, and I ghostwrite for a lot of artists within R&B or rap or hip hop or country even. So if I put myself in that songwriter stance, I think that's what helps me a little bit more with my musicality as well as education, as well as lessons as a kid and being influenced in actual music education, but knowing like you said, like the mundane, the expectable gets predictable, and then we think we know the song so we don't have to listen to it. So you kind of have to give them like, oh wait, what is this, what's going on here? And I'm glad that you pointed that out, because that is something that I try to emphasize, as far as just staying unique, staying different, but obviously within the realm of something that people would want to listen to, at all. So yeah, kind of carving my own lane. And that's why I hate like the genre, or the who, what other artists do you sound like, that kind of question too would sound us like, I don't know. I listen to so much music, and I think that's another thing too is, um, I believe that artists should be ingesting all types of music, to be honest. I mean, if you hate country music, don't listen to country music. If you hate Screamo, don't listen to Screamo. But definitely challenge yourself to listen to different things. I mean, I was doing theater in high school, so there's certain things that I can do with my voice because of that. There's certain things I listen to Frank Sinatra or Nat King Cole or Etta James on the weekends, Bill Withers on the Saturday morning. So the different things. I listen to instrumentals. I listen to just DJs. Listen to rap. I barely listen to R&B, to be honest with you. I listen to a lot more underground music of artists that people are like, oh, who do you listen to? And they never know who I'm talking about. But there's so much more going on there rather than the radio. I don't know what's going on in the radio, if I'm being honest. I don't know what song is on the charts right now. I don't know any of that. And I don't care to know any of that, because that's like commercial music, commercialized, big uh, big scale music. So yeah, thank you. I love everything you said, because that's actually what I try to do.
See, look, and we did not have a conversation about what I should have said or the way to
We did not.
describe the music. That is my honest opinion when I heard it
Thank
and when
you.
where it took me. And I appreciate listening to music like that. And I always encourage artists to listen to different genres. And I think some of the most historical music that we've ever listened to were genres that actually blended together to make
Yes.
something amazing because I think that music is universal and we shouldn't just fall into one category or sit in that one box. If we blend it, I think by blending music, we'll bring the world together a lot sooner
Ugh,
than later
yes.
because we're so separated. Like it's It just
I
mind
I
boggling.
totally no. I'm on board with that 100%. And if I can just quickly say that I in moments if you go to a show or you go to a festival or something where just a lot of people and there's an artist on stage that's performing whatever, whoever, whatever it is, there is a calm over the audience. Everyone is in the same taking in the same energy. And this is why I really do think that art and music can change the world because people aren't thinking about nothing else in those moments when they're listening to from the vessel, this great music or a great show, whether it's a musical theater show or a music show or a magician. People buy into anything. It's just to be in a space where you feel like anything's possible. And there's a certain energy, a certain frequency that kind of radiates off of creatives when you're on a stage, on a pedestal, presented in front of so many people. Those people are like, whoa, you actually are putting yourself here for us to judge you? But we love you. And because we love that you're being authentic and we love that you're doing this in your way. And there's so much more that lies there, so much more peace that lies there and being comfortable with who you are and being able to put that on stage in front of a shit ton of people. So
Yeah.
I do believe in the same thing. Music can change the world. Art can change the world. Expression. People need to say how they feel about what's going on because there's a lot going on that we want to act like not's going on. And then we wonder why New York runs on entertainment because it's like a magical place. It's a magical place. We need this. People come here from far and wide just to see something that's like, wow.
Yeah. So let's get into another track of yours. Pick one. Pick
Ooh, death threats.
Death. Hey, the titles to these songs are like, I'm like, wow. She said that you have such a soft voice, so it's like when I'm looking at the titles, I'm like, you got Jello Shooter, Death
Yes.
Threats. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? What happens when I press this play button? But
Yes. Oh my God, I love it.
but but that is something that we can say is due to the artistry, the the mystical appearance of what you put out, from your appearance to the titles of the track to the music. People are not sure what they're going to get, and they're like, well, what's gonna happen? Like I said, I press this play button, I don't know what I'm gonna hear, but you know what, I'm still gonna press it because I kind of want to find out, you know.
Yes.
So let's get into this death threats real quick. Here we go, y'all.
Raise your glasses up. The bitch is dead. And if you need some more time to get this shit out your head, think of all the years wasted chasing, waiting for us back. So we led her to the dark. We sent the death, and then she did the rest. Yeah, got sick and tired of the back and forth of melodrama. I guess she got what she deserved. Some people call that karma. We took away her mama, and now there's no one left on earth to give a fuck about the fact tomorrow she's a goner. And thanks to us, everyone is free. I can't believe it worked, but I'm so happy. So pitiful, so you'd rather die than live with me. Raise your glasses up. The bitch is dead. And if you need some more time to get this shit out your head, think of all the years wasted chasing, waiting for us back. So we led her to the dark. We sent the death threats, and then she did the rest. Yeah.
I don't even know what to say anymore. I give up. I give up.
No.
I really give up. No, because I want to say this, and this is, this is no BS. Um, going from join the club to death threats, right? Like
Yeah.
I said, I didn't know what to expect. We press play, right? We
Yeah.
press play. Um, the delivery, the difference between the two, it was like,
Mm,
whoa. But then it was like being taken to a whole other place. Like you were telling a story. It was like I was like in a
mm,
whole nother movie of what you were saying, and it was like you get caught up on focusing on every word as you were saying
mm,
it, because the tempo was slower. Just the delivery of your words was slower. The beat, everything just different. And it's like, yo, what the hell's going on here? Oh my gosh. Oh, this is what we got going on. And then I got like it's weird because I got like a spoken word vibe from the whole thing. Like if you would, like
mm.
if we were at open mic, and you just walked up to the mic and you just sat there and just opened up with some spoken word, and it was,
Ooh,
yeah, it was just crazy. Yeah,
woo.
I'm just
Yeah.
and just and then we that's what they do, right? It's this it's the clapping,
Yes.
yeah, that shit, right? Yeah, that's what we was doing, yeah, right. So it was it was a ride for real. Between it was like being on a roller coaster with join the club, and then
Hmm.
like death threats was when you first start to take that climb and you on the roller coaster and you're going click, 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 all the way
Mm,
to the top of the hill.
mm.
That's what that was.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah, it's funny because Death Threats was okay, so the idea, Death Threats is on another EP called Simone and the Rejects, and it's called Simone and the Rejects because Death Threats and the other song Jello Shooter that you mentioned before were actually cut from my previous project, Join the Club, that I had just sang from. So like I said, Join the Club was kind of like a dark, eerie, depression, suicidal, kind of things that I was going through in my earlier years, like I was saying. And this project specifically with Death Threats was not mastered, was barely mixed, is super raw. And that's probably also why you kind of felt that way, is because it didn't have that clean edges, smooth transitions, the most mixing and mastering that you can do, because I didn't even intend on putting that project out until like 3 days or 4 days before it came out. I had those demos sitting on my laptop for like at least 10 months. And I was like, I don't want to just sit here and just be the only one listening to it. So I was like, I'm going to put it out like this. And if people like it, they like it. And oddly enough, it did better than Join the Club did, probably because of the rawness, like we were saying before, kind of giving people that inside look on what's going on, what you're working on, what you're doing. And I think also with the backstory of knowing that it was attached to something like Join the Club and knowing like where that project was and what the meaning of that project was. And Death Threats was actually the opening on this project. So to get that, like you said, is like, what is this project even going to be about? She's talking about, suicide. Some girl killed herself, raised her glasses. This bitch is dead. Like, what is going on? So I definitely could agree with you. I definitely can agree with you with like, you don't know what you're going to get. I don't even know what I'm going to get until I sit down and I'm like, okay, I think this is done. I think I like it, you know? I don't know, maybe I should kind of be like multi-genre, but I love the fact that you said like spoken wordy too, because I've done so many open mics like New Yorican. I don't know if you know New Yorican
Yeah.
Cafe, but it's like a
Yes,
pretty
yes, yes.
big, yeah. so Nuyorican, it reminded me of that, just like going up with the stone wall behind the stage, and you're just up there with like the spotlight, the one spotlight, and people are sitting down in folding chairs and the snapping after. But yeah, it was really raw, and I think also, like you said, the syncopation, the slowness of the delivery does make you keep up. And another thing that I try to kind of keep in there as a writer is I have this storyteller kind of way where each lyric kind of does attach itself to the next thing, like it's a full from beginning to end, then you'll kind of get the full thing. So yeah, it's crazy because you're literally saying everything that like I try to do, so it's like all affirmations and confirmations for me.
Yeah, and like I really do this for real. Like I'm not playing around and saying, "Hey, look, I'm a radio host," or "Hey, I do." Like I'm really a student of the game. So when I'm listening to it with a fresh ear, and it's just like, this is what's up. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't believe in just saying stuff because you're on the show and making it go well or whatever.
Yeah,
No, if I don't
yeah.
like it, I don't like it. If I vibe with it, I vibe with it. Like, nah, I don't
Yes,
think that's it. Like, and it's
yes,
important because so many people surround themselves with people that just tell them what they want to hear, and they
yes,
need to be in the environment where somebody's like, nah, that's not it. Oh, that's kind of horrible.
yes,
That don't sound
yes,
so good. You need that. You need it, especially
yes,
being a creative. You might not like what you hear, especially in the moment, because you thought
yeah,
you then gave it 110% of what you was putting down, and they're like, no, those high notes was horrible. You was
yeah.
it sounded like somebody was scratching records or something. Like, you need to do that again. Maybe don't go so high
Yeah,
next time. You was in the moment. I don't know. You know. Just please. I'm
that
still
is
recovering.
crazy. You were in the moment. I'll give you this pass. I'll give you the pass. You were feeling it. The Holy Ghost took over.
Yeah. And it's just
Yeah.
it's one of those things, but I think that me being honest with the people that I deal with, they respect it. And
Yes.
you know, I think that when someone puts out music, especially the tracks that we just heard of yours, I was able to pick up on that energy because that's another reason why I
Mm,
feel that music can be healing and bring the world together. Because when you're laying it down, your pain, your passion, or whatever you're doing, and I can feel it. And I wasn't even there. I didn't go through what you went through. We wasn't in the
yeah.
same room.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you when you was going through it. But I felt what you needed to get out there at the time. And it's like the energy is just omitting through the speakers, and I'm just getting
Oh,
hit with it through every freaking beat. It just everything that's going on from the tempos to the words to the lyrics to the vibe to the atmosphere. It's
thank
That's what good music is.
you. Ooh, thank you. I definitely appreciate that. I love that so much. I'm gonna just hop on your bandwagon of like the yes men thing. I definitely had to take myself out of you know, and you could probably attest to this too, but if you walk into a room of like the people that are your crew, right? The people that know as much as you know about what you're doing and offer their opinions on things, and you trust them because they know what you're doing. But when you walk into that room with them and you kind of realize like, wait, I feel like I might be needing to go into the next floor, like go into the next room, because I feel like I've outgrown this space. And I started feeling like that when everything that I did was like, whoa, whoa, that's so great. That's so great. Oh my God, this song is amazing. This song is great. You sound great. Your voice is so nice. And it kind of becomes like, and this is crazy because then it kind of sounds like I don't want to hear those things, which I do want to hear, like that I sound good. But when you hear it so much, it's kind of like, okay, but like I'm chasing something in this music more than just it sounds good. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Like I want to hear, like you said, do you feel anything? What are you seeing? Do you see anything in your head? Like what are you getting? What are you receiving from my expression? And if it's nothing else but, oh, that was pretty, or "Oh, that's cute, or you had a really nice voice, I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm still at the drawing board. There's a lot of artists I know that are like, we recorded a dope song today, let's record it and then put it out this weekend. And it's just so rushed. And then it's like no one knows what you're doing, so you don't even have to rush your music at all. But when you rush that and then you put that out and it's like, okay, this was just as good as the last song, but I'm not getting anything else. I never want to cap myself. That's why maybe I try so many different types of sounds, so many different types of things, because I'm like, I don't want anybody to get used to anything, because I'm constantly trying to get better or more expressive or more true to myself. I think better to me is just the most true and the most polished, I guess, vocally that I can be. I'm always looking to challenge myself. People told me I had a good voice since I was 17. I'm 24. I hope that my voice is better than it was then, but people still tell me I have a good voice, so it's like I go by my own radar and also the opinions of people who I feel like are in the place to give, that their opinion, for you to be like, okay, I trust what you're saying. And like you said, if it's bad, you still are like, okay, I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. I'm going to take it because you know what you're talking about and I'm trying to get somewhere.
Yeah.
If I'm going to turn around and be like, oh, well, haters are going to hate, you don't want to listen to my music, that's fine, whatever, me on that energy, then I'm just like, oh, don't listen to my shit. Like, why would I even say that? So yeah, I'm always here for criticism. I actually prefer it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I think I definitely believe if you feel that you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You got to get out that room. It don't continue to just be comfortable with what's in there.
yes, you have to be uncomfortable. You
Yeah,
have to be uncomfortable. And if you're uncomfortable, you're doing it right. You're doing it right. If you're scared to get on stage in front of 300 people, you're doing a good thing right now.
yeah, yeah.
So
And you go from the 300 to the 800 to the 2,000 to the 20,000 individuals.
Madison Square Garden,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. That's just one of those things. And I say always continue to elevate yourself and move forward. It's just perfect for me. I think that that's how you stay on your toes and you continue to elevate. But before we get out of here, I got a question for you. What
Yes.
is it that you're looking to get out of your music career? What are you looking for, a deal, or you just looking to put out great music, or you looking to touch
Ooh,
people with your music? You know,
ooh, okay. Great. Great question. And thank you for asking that. I want to touch people with my music. That's definitely my purpose, I feel like. Um, and whether, like I said before, that's through music or through art or through written word, whatever form that comes in. And probably in all forms it will happen, but music definitely is the priority of just being able to get it out there, because a lot of my music is real shit. A lot of my music is honestly just poetically spoken about the things that I have gone through or the things that I'm dealing with in whatever way. Not always sad, but it's real. And I want those things to be relatable, because I mean, I was depressed when I was a kid because I didn't feel like there was anybody going through the shit that I was going through, and I felt like I was alone in those situations. And I feel like even if it was just a song that could bring me out of that headspace for a second, I would be like, oh my God, this artist is my favorite artist, because I feel like there's a relatability there. I feel like there's something that they're saying that I couldn't find the right words to say. And then they're saying it in a musical way that is just resonating with me. So definitely just spreading spreading good vibes. But one of my ultimate goals actually is to go to Africa, the motherland, and bring music to the impoverished areas where people feel like they have nothing else to do. I want to give kids instruments that, if things are going horribly in life, we can have a drum circle or a creative community situation where kids feel like they have an outlet to express like the things that they're going through. So that's like my biggest thing is I definitely want to touch people through my music. But a goal that I'm working on currently is a Grammy. And I know Grammys are like losing their polish, but I don't care. I want one. I want one on my shelf. So yeah, that's something I'm working on now. And luckily I'm able to surround myself with people who've either been nominated or have won. And I feel like we said before, keeping yourself in that energy, it's bound to happen.
yeah. Well, you know that was that was one of the most detailed answers that I've gotten when I asked that question. And I want to say it's only because you're very sure about what you want to do and having a clear path and understanding your purpose it keeps you grounded, and it keeps you moving in the right direction. You
Thank you.
know,
Yes.
it's so important. It's super important. Uh, wow. I just I can't wait to like press a button and I'll be like, oh, that's Simone. She getting a Grammy. We spoke about that. The
Yes.
first year, I'm gonna put the video out. I'm gonna start blasting it. It's me and Simone, right? Prophet and Simone,
Yes.
right? That's it. That's gonna be one of those things.
I'm
But
down. I'm down. That day will come.
yeah,
That day will come.
yeah, I'm gonna pull it out the archives. I don't care how long it takes,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I'm pulling it out the archives.
Yes.
That's what it's gonna be. I'm gonna be like, yeah.
Yes.
And
Oh
she
my
was only she
God.
moved to Brooklyn like maybe 4 weeks prior to us having this interview or whatever. And it was just like, oh, see, that's what happens. And that's
Whew.
what happens within the moment. And when you manifest greatness in your life, you can make things happen. You talk
Yes.
about it, you feel what it is, and you just move towards it. Like you just move towards it. You say it as they say, oh crap, I forgot the damn like cliche statement. It's something about
Mm.
if you can conceive, you could achieve, or some shit. That's some nonsense
Oh,
like that.
okay. That's great. I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's one of those things. Like if you can manifest it and you say, yeah, this is gonna happen, then you can make it happen because you put yourself on that path. If you can see it, then it's possible.
Yes. And if it makes anybody believe it more, the FBI even said that manifestation is real. There is a whole document on how imagery within your head makes it part of reality so that it's more likely to happen in reality. It's crazy, but the FBI said it's real, so there's no doubting it.
Yeah, that's like Minority Report. I don't know if you ever seen that movie, Minority Report.
No.
You never seen
Oh
it?
wait, with Tom Cruise?
Yeah, with Tom Cruise, they was locking people
Yes.
up because there's something that they was locking them up for stuff they ain't even do yet. So they
Yeah, yeah.
manifested something and they was going to jail for it. So how about
Ooh,
we
that's so
manifest
true.
greatness? Yeah, let's manifest greatness. You know what? Cut me a check for the stuff that I manifested I ain't even do yet. How about that?
Yo.
Let's do that.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get it done. So before we get up out of here, tell everybody how they can follow you, how they can find you, how they can listen to your music.
Yes. Okay, so once again, my name is Simone and it's spelled Ximone. So you can find me on any platform through that, Ximone. If you want to follow me on social media, Instagram or Twitter, you can find me at the Simone or the Simone, so THE Simone. You can also keep up with my online magazine called Siren Magazine, where I write columns about independent artists and creatives in general that are working on their craft that deserve some more eyes on them. So feel free to read up on that. And yeah, I'm here. I'm here, and you're gonna see me more. You're gonna see me everywhere. So it's only a matter of time.
Yes, it's gonna be great. So I thank you for being a
Thank you.
wonderful guest, and I appreciate the energy you brought to this interview and the
Thank you.
sound you brought to the interview. Definitely great. Now I got some songs
Thank you.
that I can add to my playlist that I can really vibe out to because that's what you
Yes.
call music, real music.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this. This was amazing, amazing, amazing. And thank you so much for having me.
Yes. So we'll keep in touch and I'll send you over the links to the videos and all that stuff.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a good night,
Wait,
everybody.
wait,
Bye.
there we go.
Oh,
Goodbye. Yeah, so you already know what it is. Another episode of Prophet Radio with your boy Prophet Pete, bringing you artists that really make music. Shout out to Golden Heart Management Group for making the connections that they do to add to the value of what we do every day. Never forget the people that are there for you, the ones that help you through the struggling times, through the hardest times, or the ones that just add value to your life because they believe in you so much. They believe in what you're doing, they believe in your vision, and they're not afraid to tell you if what you're doing isn't right or what's going on is you're going in the wrong direction. And they sit there and they help you figure things out. So shout out to Golden Heart Management Group for doing what they do so well. Shout out to all the wonderful shows on WEMS Radio. Shout out to the bosses, the everything that go down here. You heard? So if you didn't know, now you know. And I'm gonna take you out. Make sure that you tune into Sex Talk with Ashley at 9 p.m. We got ooh, a dope show with some porn stars. Make sure you tune in. They doing their thing. They talk about things that are going on within the porn industry and everything else. So stay tuned, stay locked in, and make sure that you tell a friend to tell a friend. You heard? Because this is your boy.
You are tuned in to Profit Radio with your host, Profit Pete. You are tuned in to WEMS Radio, where we are bringing light back to the industry.
Yeah.
Shit, nigga.
We here, y'all.
What the fuck time is it, man?
Woo.
Nigga, do you know what time it is? Oh, shit. What the fuck's going on? You alright? Nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you?
When I die, fuck it, I wanna go to hell. Cause I'm a piece of shit, it ain't hard to fucking tell. It don't make sense.